And talking about efficiency, Tom, I would like to bring about the laws of physics, how they apply to relationships. This is so fascinating. How the first law of Newton applies to relationships.
Newton's first law is first law of motion. Is an object in rest will remain at rest. If it's in motion, it will stay in motion and keep moving unless it's acted on by an outside force. Now that's the first law. If it's moving, it's like it'll keep moving that direction. And the way that applies to a relationship or to people is that if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to keep getting the results I'm getting. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I should expect the same results. So, to put it simply, if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Many people say, what, I'm always running into these bad relationships, into these bad people, because they continue doing the same thing all over and over again. And what about entropy?
Entropy, the second law of thermodynamics. This is entropy. Entropy is a concept in physics that is the universe is headed from order into disorder, that everything is headed into disorder, gets more and more ununified, would be the way of putting it. And how that applies to us in, for example, I'll give you an example of entropy. If you clean the house and all of a sudden just leave it be, it will get dirty again. Just all of a sudden it'll get dirty. You don't have to do anything, it'll get dirty. If you have a stack of nice neat bricks stacked on a truck and you dump them off, it ends up a jumbled mess. You have to restack them. The only thing that overcomes entropy is work. And that's the only thing that will hold entropy at bay. Or everything will head from order to disorder, according to the second law of thermodynamics. And then relationships the same way. The only way that we can keep a relationship vibrant and healthy and happy is to do work. We have to put some energy into this to keep this relationship. And energy efficiency, another thermodynamic law, says that we not only have to work, we have to work efficiently and effectively. So the effort we put into the relationship has to produce the results we want. And so we take these laws of thermodynamics and entropy and things like this and teach people how to apply them in their own life. Not just with their house getting dirty or their car getting dirty, but how to let them see what happens in their relationship with each other and their relationship with their children. That these relationships take work, and the work that we put into them has to be directed, focused to produce the results we want.
And something that I really like about this entropy law is that also applies to problems. And it's very simple. If we have a problem, we can make a decision to ignore the problem, not to solve it. But guess what? Your problem is not going to disappear. It's going to stay the same, and probably it's going to get worse because entropy is going to get you. If you are in a bad relationship and you're just hoping that it's going to get better, your partner is going to stop, for example, drinking or going out or maybe cheating on you and not to paying attention to you, and you just wish and wish and wish and do nothing about it, I promise you, this entropy law is going to get you, and it's going to make you suffer more, and it's going to get your relationship more difficult. I'm talking about expecting a partner to change. What are those 5 requirements for change?
Yeah, it's one of the things we've learned. And again, these are very specific things. That if I want her to change, or if I want to change, or my boss, or my children, there's 5 things that have to be in place, absolutely have to be in place before anyone changes. There will be no change in anyone's life that is a permanent, effective change unless these 5 things are in place. People have to recognize they've got a problem, and they have to accept that there is a problem. They have to want to change. They have to want to, because they can recognize it. If they don't want to, it's not going to change. They have to have a process for change. They have to have something that works. Then they have to implement the process. Then they have to do the maintenance. Those 5 things have to be there before change in anybody's life is going to happen. I can want her to change. I can pray for her to change. I can do everything. But unless those 5 things are there, she's never going to change. But the same thing's true of me. If I want to change, if I want to quit smoking, if I want to lose weight, whatever, I have to do those 5 things. And just one quick thing I want to mention about entropy. Losing weight. Stop and think how entropy applies to that. that see, if I sit here and I can want to lose weight, I can desire it, but unless if I just sit here and do nothing, I don't lose weight. Entropy will help me do that. And the same thing with these 5 things. They have to be in place for me to lose weight.
And Tom, you just mentioned something that many people, we go through those things, and sometimes we feel that we live in unfulfilled lives and we complain about it. Why my life is always the same? Nothing exciting happened to me. Look how fat I am. Why I don't get the right job? Why my children are not listening to me? Why my husband doesn't respect me, or my wife? And we keep thinking and having this wishful thinking, and this is a very specific benefit that I gathered from spiritual engineering, because I used to be like that. I used to engage in these daydreams. I want to do this, but I didn't take action. So if I really want to change in my life, very simple, I have to take action, and it has to be the right action. So I need to have a process that it will help me, and it has to be a process that it will work for me. So, and after I get the process, I have to have consistency. Another thing that I gained by working this program, discipline. I used to be so undisciplined. Oh yeah, I do this here, and then I get sidetracked, do something there, and then at the end of the day, I didn't use my energy efficiently. But what this program has, spiritual engineering has given me, is the ability to channel my energy, to harness my energy in a very effective way. And let's talk about being a procrastinator. Wow, how many of us are procrastinators? Many people out there. Yeah, I will do it. Oh, I have to do laundry, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I have to write an email, I'll do it later. Oh, I gotta call my mother, I'll do it tomorrow. And we always thinking, living in tomorrow. And I used to be like that. And guess what? I spent many years of my life wishing that my life will change, wishing that I can find that self-fulfillment that will allow me to connect with a greater reality. But just by taking action, I'm gonna do this, keeping my word, and actually doing it, that's when I started seeing the results. So I was able to get out of my comfort zone, implement something that it had proven that it worked for me and many people. Before I knew this program, I'm still on it, and after 7 years, I can say I have an incredible life.
And anybody can do this. It's just absolutely wonderful. Anyone can do this. Anyone that's out there suffering, that wants to quit worrying, that wants to get rid of anxiety. I used to have high blood pressure and take medicine, and none of it anymore. But the thing is, if you want to change your life, there's a way to do it. And it's not rocket science. It's not magic. You don't have to take pills. You don't have to keep coming back to us for advice. It's a process. It's like baking a cake. And you can learn to do this. You can go to spiritual-engineering.com, spiritual-engineering.com, and be introduced to this program. This is the program. This is the new paradigm for relationships. This is the model for relationships of the 21st century. This is the way that people can have fantastic, extraordinary, awesome relationships, and the way that people can feel the peace and the contentment and the purpose in life that we're all meant to have.